Hello and welcome back. My name is Andrew Kallman, and today we're looking at mindset number 2, the 4R model. And this is one of the really 3 core models that we have in Guerrilla Leadership. The leadership takeaways today are right truth, right values and attitudes, right actions, right results. I'm going to stop right there. Those first 3 I learned a little bit over 40 years ago when I was going through the university. And those first 3 are the foundational basis for every philosophy, for every religion, for every ism that's out there. Okay. And so when I'm talking about truth in a business context, that's the truth by which a person lives. It's not just the talk they talk, it's the walk they walk. And you can't really know what those are until you see their values and attitudes in action and the results that it produces. And to get to the root, sometimes we have to use reverse engineering to get to the core truth by which a person lives. So, as in the other 2 models that use this pattern, the 4D and 4A models, the 4R model has vision at its core. It's absolutely essential, and when it's the individual level, it's the person's individual vision and also their spirit. And so we're bringing in a little bit of the philosophical viewpoint there. Basically, if I know what a person's core truth is, and you notice I put that in a small t, not a big T, if I know what that is, then I have a chance to train, coach, and mentor them in the right direction. Okay. Most people don't like to change their minds, but most people are willing to make a new decision based on new information. If they can unlearn and relearn, we have a chance. Now, when we're looking at this, people tend to distill their values, attitudes, and their beliefs from their truths. And it's from there that they act. Okay. And hopefully you'll get the results that you want. And when people sometimes tell me, oh, you can't change people's truths or their values and attitudes, it's like, that may be partially true, but it's also not true. Otherwise, organizations would not invest billions of dollars every year in training, coaching, and mentoring to help people make those new decisions based on new information. And that is key for all journeys to excellence, whether it's a journey to excellence for the individual. And I really hope you are pursuing excellence. I remember when I was at the university, my professor said, you need to commit to lifelong learning. Okay. It never stops. Okay. And so if you're not individually committed to continuous improvement and lifelong learning, you're already at a disadvantage. The teams need to continue to learn. Your products, programs, processes, line management, all of those management disciplines, they need to continue to learn. And the organization itself, from the portfolio level to the directors to the C-suite to the board, they all need to continue to learn as well. And so you have a lot of journeys to excellence in any organization. And if people aren't on that journey, they're going to end up being sidetracked, derailed, or completely let go. Now, we can use the 4R model in reverse to do root cause analysis. If I'm a leader and I see I'm not getting the results that I'm expecting, I'm going to go back and look at their actions. Okay, what did they do? Did that make sense? And If the actions don't line up, I'm going to be going, well, wait a second, we got to look at the values and attitudes. And probably 80 to 90% of the time, it's an issue with what the person believes as their truth has impacted their values and attitudes in a negative way. And we need to correct that. But the other thing we need to understand is what Deming said. Okay, it's not always the individual who's at fault, because, and that's why I put this quote in here. Edwards Deming reminds us that a bad system will beat a good person every time. Now, my modification of this in today's world is tools, rules, and structures will beat a good person every time. And so it can really interfere with a journey to excellence on the mindset and leadership side. And if that's happening, your efforts are going to fail more often than not. And it's not going to be a good picture at all. So the second mindset is the 4R model. We live and breathe this. Remember, we're looking at this from all 4 areas, and we're layering this in for the individual, the team, the product, and the organization. What are the truths involved? What are the values and attitudes involved? What are the actions? What are the results? You know, companies spend a ton of money coming up with these lists of we value, and they list, you know, all the typical things, and then they don't live by it. They talk the talk, but they don't walk the talk. If you're only talking the talk, that will become apparent very quickly, and you'll lose all credibility with the people that you're trying to lead. So remember, sometimes we have to reverse engineer to get to those core truths. And each and every one of us in an organization needs to be hyper aware of what is it that we believe, what are our values and attitudes, and what's the impact that has on my teammates and on the product or service or result that we're trying to deliver, and ultimately on the organization. If you can get a handle on that, just this one alone will help you capture and harvest a lot of low-hanging fruit. We have the first ever global Guerrilla Leadership Gathering coming up on Saturday, 3rd of December. And we're going to start at 3:30 in the afternoon here in Finland. It's going to be on Zoom. I've got the link here. I may drop it in the notes on the YouTube video. If not, you can look it up on my website, andrewkallman.com. There's no charge. There are PDUs and SCUs involved. You get 7.5, so it's worth 7.5 hours. All 18 mindsets will be taught by experienced coaches and trainers in a series of 15-minute lightning sessions, 10 minutes of content, 5 minutes Q&A with a 5-minute break in between. We'll take a break in the middle of the day for lunch/dinner, depending on your time zone. And then we'll finish up the day. And right at the end of the day, we'll have a very short Q&A session to cover any of the questions that we might not have been able to answer during the sessions themselves. If you'd like a copy of this presentation, or you'd like to chat, feel free to reach out to me either via LinkedIn. You can see the link right there. Via my website, andrewkallman.com. Reach out to me via email, andrew@andrewkallman.com. And I look forward to chatting with you in person soon.